multiplications today. All right, so this word consecutive, what does it mean if Julius and Gavin are consecutive batters for the baseball team? What does that mean?
Hey, she called on me, Julius. It's like, you mean, you do it, okay.
Consecutive integers just means a whole number, okay, positive or negative. If I have the number 8, what's the next consecutive number? 9. And then what's the next consecutive one? 10. So, if it doesn't say anything about being odd or even, then let's say you have an x, so fill this in, you would have an x. How do I go from 8 to 9? You plus 1. So then it's going to be x plus 1. And then to get to the next one, you would have to add 2. And then this could go on forever, theoretically. Okay? So if it says consecutive, this is how we're going to start the problem. X plus 1, x plus 2. Now, let's talk about if it says even or odd. So give me an even number. 2. What's the next consecutive even number? 4. What's the next one? Okay? So this would be x. How do you get the next even number? You add 2, and then you would have to add 4. Now, here's what messes people up every time, and I will say this a gajillion times this semester. Give me an odd number. 3. What's the next consecutive odd number? Okay, now look. How do you go from 3 to 5? You still add 2. So even if it says odd, you still add 2. I know 2's not odd. I know that. But to get odd numbers, you still add 2 every time. What's the next odd number after 5? How do you go from 5 to 7? You add 2. So you do them the same way if it's even or odd. And then this could go on forever too. Like what would be the next one? X plus 6. Okay? All right. So here is our first actual problem. All right. So twice a number decreased by 17 is negative 3. Find the number. So we're going to do that consecutive thing in a minute. But this problem is just kind of a review from middle school. Twice a number. Twice means 2 times a number. Do we know what the number is? So you put an x. So for twice a number, you put 2x. Guys, please do not talk out of turn. Decreased means to subtract 17. And on your paper, I need you to box in the equals. I need everybody to box in the is and put an equals in that box. So I want everybody to box in the is and put an equals. So whenever you see is, you're going to put an equals negative 3. Okay? Well, you're always going to put an equals. And then look right here. That's where the negative 3 came from. Okay? All right, so we got 2x minus 17 equals negative 3. We're going to draw our line. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this because we've just spent the past 2 days on it. I'm going to move the 17 over here and add it because x is over here, number's over here. And that gives me 14. Drop down the 2x. Divide by 2. And x equals 7. So that's your answer. You're writing, yes, write it down. And please raise your hand. That's the last warning I'm giving to you guys. You need to raise your hand when you have a question. Number 2, 5 times a number increased by 2 is 7. Caitlin, how do you think I'm going to write 5 times a number? Very good. 5x. Gavin, how am I going to do increased by 2? Very good. Stephanie, what do I do for a is? Very good. Equals 7. Okay? All right, so I'm going to draw my line. And Allison, what's going to move to the other side? 2. And so I'm going to subtract 2. And that will give me 5. And Destiny, what do you do last right here? What's the opposite of multiplying? Very good. And 5 divided by 5 is 1. So you get 1. Okay, raise your hand, please, if you have a question on 1 or 2. Okay, number 3 says the sum of 3 consecutive. So circle that word consecutive. Circle that word consecutive. Whenever you see that word, until you get used to it, I want you to go back and look at your chart. When you see the word consecutive, I want you to look at your chart to help you. Okay, so for this one, it says the sum of 3 consecutive integers is 279. Find the numbers. Does it say anything about being odd or even? No. So we're going to use this side right here. We're going to use this side because it does not say odd or even. And let's see how many we have of them. We have 3 of them. So we have to use this one, and this one. We got to use all 3. Okay, so that's what I'm going to write. I'm going to write x plus 1, and x plus 2 for 3 consecutive integers. Okay?
Well, it doesn't say even.
Hey. Yes, Gavin.
It doesn't say.
Right. So that's why we're using this side. Does not say even or odd. We use these 3. If it would have said even or odd, we would have used those 3. Okay? Raise your hand, please. All right. Next, I want you to bubble in the word sum, and we're going to put a plus with that. So sum means to add. Sum means to add. So we're going to draw a line right here and put a plus sign. And we've already learned this. When you're adding, you combine like terms when you're adding. So I'm going to add 1x, 1x, and 1x. That gives me 3x. So I'm adding them up. And I'm going to combine 1 and 2 because those are like terms to give me 3. And then I'm going to go back to the problem. Is means to put a what, guys? Equals 279. Okay, and now you're going to solve it just like we did yesterday. You're going to draw your line. 3 becomes negative 3 when you move it over here. Gives me 276. Drop down your 3x and divide by 3. All right, we get to do some long division. You got to love it. Does 3 go into 2? Does 3 go into 27? How many times? 3 times 9 is 27. Subtract those, gives me 0. Drop down the 6. 3 goes into 6. 2 times 3 times 2 is 6. So we're done. So we get x is 92. Okay? One thing that's really important to do in this class is to go back and find out if you answered the question. So it said, find the numbers. Right now we only have 92. We need 3 consecutive numbers. What comes after 92? 93 and then 94. So those are the 3 consecutive numbers. All right, raise your hand, please, if you have a question. All right. Number 4, what is the largest of 3 consecutive positive integers if the sum of the smaller 2 integers is 11? Neve, what word do I want you to circle right off the bat? Good. Consecutive. And so we're going to go look at our chart. So here is our chart. Does this one say anything about being odd or even? No. It says positive. Does positive make something odd or even? No. So positive doesn't matter. Okay? So it does not say odd or even. So we're going to use this side. And we've got to look and see how many of them do we need? 3. Good. So it's the same thing. X plus 1, and x plus 2. For 3 consecutive. X plus 1, and x plus 2. Okay, guys, this one you're going to have to read carefully. It says sum. What does sum mean to do? Add. But what does it say to sum? The smaller two. Good, thank you. It says to sum the smaller two. So if we look at this list, out of this list, what do you think are the smaller two? X and x plus 1 are the smaller two. So you can mark this one out. You actually don't need it. And we're going to sum, so we're going to add these. We're going to add these. Andrew, what do you get when you add these? Good. 2x plus 1. And Mary, what am I going to put after that? Very good. Equals 11. Okay. All right, Elizabeth, help me solve this whole thing. Tell me what to do. Uh-huh. Okay. Very good. So x equals 5. Sarah, is 5 my final answer? Nope. What else do I have to put? 6 and 7. Now, I know we marked this one out, but it still wants 3. Now, this one is a very in-depth problem because there's still something extra to do on it. Does anyone see what the extra thing is? We already did that. Very good, Gavin. What is the largest? So, if on the final exam you did all this work and then there was a box to put your answer in, what's the only thing they want in the box? Just 7. That's the only thing they want in the box. Okay. All right. Number 5. Find 4 consecutive odd integers whose sum is 216. Allison, something to circle. Uh-huh. So when I see consecutive, what do I want y'all to use? The chart. I want you to use the chart. So we're using this chart whenever you see consecutive. Then you have to decide which side of the chart we're using. Louis, which side of the chart? Very good. The odd side. The odd side. Natasha, what do I need to write for the odd side? What did we put in the chart? For the odd side? And guys, it wants 4 of them. So this is the first one, x. This is the second one, x plus 2. This is the third one, x plus 4. What would the fourth one be? X plus 6. You just continue the pattern. It wants 4 of them. X, x plus 2, x plus 4, and x plus 6. Yes, Andrew, thank you. I know. Add these. Uh-huh. Okay. 4x plus 12 equals, Julius, what's it going to equal? What's it going to equal? Very good. 216. I'm going to write it over here, guys, so y'all can see it in the back. You don't have to rewrite it on your paper. Zach, help me solve this. What would I do next? It's going to be 204. And Levi, what do you do next? Good. All right, I get to do long division again. Y'all get to help me. Does 4 go into 2? Does 4 go into 20? 5 times, that gives me 0. And 4 goes into 4 once. So we get 51. So it is odd. I told you I would come out odd. So we get odd. And Rebecca, what are the other consecutive odd numbers after 51? 53, we're doing odd, and then, and we have to do 57, because it said find 4 of them. Okay. All right, questions on those? Not on this one. Okay. All right, next page, flip it over. No, not yet. Number 6, the sum of 3 consecutive even numbers is 48. What is the largest of these numbers? Zach, what should I circle? Stephanie, what side of the chart are we using? Because it says even. Okay. Allison, what do we do for 3 even ones? What are all right, Allison? Plus. So x plus 2 and then x plus, look at your chart, 4. Gavin, what does it want you to do with those? Good, because it said sum. What do you get when you add those, Gavin?
3x plus 6.
Very good. Equals 48. Neve, help me solve this. How'd you get 42? Subtracting it, okay. All right, so 3 into 42. Andrew, help me with this. 3 into 42. So 14. Levi, 14 is not my final answer. What else do I need to put, Levi? Good. 14, 16, and 18. And Julius, what does the question ask? So I circle 18. Circle 18. Okay. Any questions on that one? All right, last 2. Change it up a little bit. These are just kind of common sense problems. The cost to rent a car is $19.50 plus 25 cents per mile. If you have $44 to rent a car, what is the greatest number of miles you can drive? Okay. Natasha, tell me one thing that we need to pull out of this word problem. One piece of information. Is the what? What's $19.50? The cost just to rent the car is $19.50. Okay. Louis, what's something else that's important? What do I have to do with the 25 cents per mile? Add it because it said plus. So what do I write, Louis? What do you think I write? 0.25. And what do you have to do for per mile? Put an X. A variable. Yep. Okay. And Andrew, something else that's important in this problem? I want to know how many miles you can drive if what? You have $44 to spend. Where do you think the 44 is going to go, Andrew? What do I have to put here? Very good. Equals 44. So 44 is the total money that I have. So it goes after an equals. Okay? Rebecca, what would I do after I draw my line? Do I add it or subtract it? Okay, so guys, we're still doing no calculator. So here I'm going to add 2 zeros because it's $44. What's 0 minus 0? 0. Can I do 0 minus 5? I got to borrow. So I cross this out. What do I make it? And this becomes a 10. What's 10 minus 5? Okay, and your decimal just comes straight down for subtraction. I can't do 3 minus 9. I got to borrow again. Make this a 3, and this becomes a 13. What's 13 minus 9? 4. And 3 minus 1 is 2. Okay? And I'm going to drop this down. And Elizabeth, what do you have to do last? Okay. All right, so Sarah, what do you do in long division when there's decimals out here? And if you move this one too, you have to move that one too, okay? So, who's up? Caitlin, will 25 go into 2? Will 25 go into 24? Will 25 go into 245? So 25, 50, 75, 100, 125, 150, 175, 200, 225, and then to be 250. So I should stop at 225. How many is that? 9. And what did I just say that was? 225. Subtract that. And drop down your 0. So now I got to do 25 into 200. 25, 50, 75, 100, 125, 150, 175, 200. How many is that? 8. Yep. No, so that is only on multiplication. I know it's hard to keep them all straight. Only on multiplication do you have to move the decimal back. Okay? Can anybody tell me what 98 is? Very good. It's how many miles you can drive if you have $44. All right. Last one. You billed your neighbor $74 for work you did around his house. Materials cost you $16 and you charge $7.25 an hour. How many hours did you work? Destiny, what's one thing that's important out of this problem? One thing I should circle. Anything. It doesn't matter what. There's lots of stuff. What's one thing I should circle? Materials cost you how much, Destiny? $16. Okay, so we'll write that down. Materials cost you $16. So this is like somebody come into your house, right? Somebody come into your house to, let's say, build a deck. Somebody's coming to your house to build a deck. What does the contractor charge you for? The materials, they charge you for the materials it takes to build a deck. They're not going to pay for them. You're going to pay for them. What else do you have to pay for when somebody comes to build something? Labor. And labor is done, what? Per hour. Okay? So we're trying to figure out what the bill is. So the bill is going to be the materials, $16. What else is the bill going to have on it? And so what do I have to put for that? X. So this is the bill. It was materials and the labor together. Okay? What else can I put up here? Why does it equal 74? That was the total of the bill. That's what I billed him for, $74. Okay? All right, Mary, what do I do next on this? So I've got to borrow again, 14, that'd be 858. And Gavin, what do you do next? Well, I drop this down. I minus the 16. So what do you have to do last right here? Julius, what do I do when there's a decimal out here? And then I have to do this one too. Very good. Okay. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. So will 725, remember, it's like 725 now. Will it go into 5? Will it go into 58? Will it go into 580? No. Okay, so I'm going to have to change strategies on this. So let me do 725 and 725. Let me see what that is. What's 5 and 5? And then that'd be 4, that'd be a 5, 1450. Let me add another 725. 7, 11. All right, let me add another 725. 5, 9, 8, 2. So I got 2, 8, 9, 5 plus 725, 0, 1. I know. We can do it though. 9 and 2 is 11 plus one more is 12. 8 and 7 is 15 plus one more is 16. 5, 4, 3, 1, 4. We're almost there. And 0, 7, 0, 1. Are we there yet? Oh gosh. What number is that? Oh boy, I must have made a mistake somewhere. Where? Right here? It was 5 and 5. I made a mistake somewhere, but that's pretty darn close to 5,800. So let's count how many 725s that was. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. What is the 8? How many hours worked? All right. Oh, yo.